Hey, thanks for clicking on this video. So this is 6.4.5. I'm running with the usual suspects. I noticed that 3 of them counter evade pretty well, and one of them is Stark Spidey, so that explains why this team is so solid. Obviously, I have 2 champs with slow debuffs, so they're going to be good for the boss, which is Adaptoid, Hydra Adaptoid. So I'm getting him in the face on accident. It you know how in most fights you can just mash the right side of the screen and then you're gonna have like the first 5 hits. Sometimes it doesn't work, and so that was one of those times, and it is what it is. I was quite literally, no exaggeration, falling asleep during this fight. On Ziltoid, my main account, Shiltoid, my second account, this being my third, on all 3 of them, it's the She-Hulk matchup versus this Colossus with Vivified, meaning he has crazy combat power rate, as well as like an inability to be power burned or power drained. So like you can't just bring magic against him and you're fine. Like that's not how he works. He also has Masochism, which it's weird. It's like the further you go on in the game, Masochism doesn't seem to be that bad. Like, not only do you get answers for it, you know, like Petrify and... Well, not even Petrify. Well, yeah, Petrify in the case of, like, Cap Infinity War, Void, you know? That sort of thing. But, so not only do you get direct answers for it, including Heal Block. Heal Block has been really important for this account, especially. But anyways, you get answers for it, but also, I feel like the base health pools stay the same, even though, like, the modified health pools increase. So this Colossus had something like under 200k, I don't know, 180k. Have to go back in the video. But nodes like Masochism and Vigor and Arc Overload, a lot of those regen nodes on the Defender are based on base health. So it's like the base health never changes, because a 565, I don't know, Crossbones with like no masteries is always going to have the same amount of health. Base health, that is, obviously. So yeah, the fight was boring. As I had mentioned, I was falling asleep for it, so we skipped forward, had 25 Fury by the end, and 1% health, and I'm not restarting the quest, because I'm just moving on with my life. So I'm taking this path. It is, like Ghast and Spry and Mixmaster, so everyone I'm fighting is gonna evade a whole bunch, unless I have some way to counter it. So I'm taking hits in the face of Nick Fury right now. I'm trying to manage my power. I want to have... Ideally, I would love to have 1.9 bars of power, but the main priority is I have at least 1 bar of power when I'm in, like, my real Nick Fury phase, when the life model decoy goes away. Yeah, I went ahead and took a heavy to the face, because I'm like, I'm not starting out with 5 intel, are you kidding? Yeah, I want to be able to go unblockable, because, like, you know, why not? Unblockable's good. Against some champions, it's everything. Against other champions, it's just something kind of nice, you know? Pretty broken, but kind of a luxury. Not needed, just, very good. So yeah, if you check the length of this video, 21 minutes, that's, half the length of the previous video, chronologically in terms of quest order. So... yeah. I rinsed the entire path with Nick Fury because, you know, he counters evade, and once he's unblockable, he counters auto block, and he also counters miss. So there's no getting away from Nick. See, right now he counters evade at 10 charges. Am I gonna... Yeah, I'm gonna fire that SP2. Okay, there we go, yeah. I really like that heavy cancel into the SP1 because, like, broadly speaking, every champion grants the defender more power when they use their heavies. So, like, lights give less power, mediums give more power, heavies give even more power, broadly speaking. Which is, like, one reason why I'll end a combo with a light attack if I want my opponent to have 1.95 bars of power versus, let's say, 2.05. You know, because I don't want them to fire their, SP2, but sometimes I want them to fire their SP1 back to back to back. That's really good for She-Hulk, that's really good for, just anybody. It's really good for any champion, because you want, those free openings. Those free openings are nice. Obviously, you know, you can parry if they're, you know, able to be stunned and get openings that way. You're taking block damage, so that's not always fun. But I mean, it's totally valid. I parry all the time. You could do light intercepts or medium intercept, like dash intercepts. Just intercept them. That's how I've avoided a lot of my block damage over the years. But sometimes you get hit in the face anyway, so it's like, what were you really avoiding, you know? I don't know, it's like sometimes the parry playstyle, you know, given the proper context, situation, or whatever, sometimes it feels like you're admitting defeat in a way. You're just like, yeah, I'm gonna take 40% damage in the block by the end of this fight, and there's nothing I can do about it. Like, that type of thing. Whereas, like, if you're intercepting, you're like, I have a chance to walk away with the fight, from the fight with no damage taken. The greatest message in all of MCOC history to see on your dash after you've won. What was I talking about before this? Getting openings, ending with lights. Yeah, I really like that heavy cancel into the SP1 with Nick, because those first two hits, they don't grant a lot of combat power whatsoever. I might do it here. I'll kind of highlight when it happens. Right now I'm doing light, medium, mediums. Parry, light, medium, medium, because I don't counter evade right up until I have a good amount of intel. 5 or over, I believe. 5+ counters both evade and miss. So yeah, I didn't do the heavy cancel here, but that's fine. Quake can be scary, but she's behaving, so that's good. Doing all the right things, throwing the SP1 when I'm ready for them, and that's the fight. Yeah, all these are taking like 50 seconds. Like, this is how fast I finish fights when I item farm in 5.3.6, you know, with the Green Goblin boss. Like, that's how fast I do fights when I'm auto farming using She-Hulk against, like, extra large champs and things like that. So light, medium, medium. I feel like light comes out of parry faster because, as I'm sure you've noticed as you've played, probably, there's like you're like kind of stopped a little bit, like you're you can't really move when you parry right away. Like you can't move frame one. Like, you have to wait like half a second or something after you parry. I just feel like lights come out faster. So I'll parry, and then I'll just smash the right side of the screen really fast, and I get one hit, one light hit, and then I, you know, do 2 mediums. In my head, that's more optimized than parry, medium, light, medium. But it also might not matter, you know? Might literally just be like I'm optimizing for, like, a slightly bigger window on my first hit, which makes all the other hits come out faster, maybe. Like, I overthink stuff a lot. Now, you might think we have a problem because of class disadvantage, but oh no. No problems detected here. In fact, Nightcrawler is so squishy, like, Nick Fury doesn't even notice the attack reduction. Okay. I did the I did the heavy cancel. Interesting. I don't know if I was like managing his power or something. Nice. We've got the high intel, we've got the internal bleed. Light ending combos. Into the block, because we're unblockable, we don't care. Ooh. Dead. So the next one we got coming up is Ultron. I had thought about this for a moment. I'm like, okay, Nick has been bleeding everything, but he can't bleed a robot. Like you can't just slash a robot with your knife and it just bleeds. That doesn't work. But then it's like she has like 1% health. Nick Fury was literally the MVP of 5.4.6, if you remember. So just use him. You know, the fight takes a little bit longer. But there's like less things to do, you know? Like part of the, I don't know, the skill required to play Nick Fury is like the whole parry heavy situation to where like you're getting those heavy attack bleeds that last a while. They have increased duration compared to like the medium ones. Yeah, like so part of the skill with him is just getting the internal bleed on. But when you're fighting a robot, you don't have to, because like you can't bleed them. So you just kind of play like you normally would if you were like a broken god with like high attack that like invalidates miss, evade, and auto block, which has like a very reliable stun on the SP2. Like it's an SP2 stun, so it's not as good as like an SP1 stun, you know. SP1 stuns can be abused with Starkey, for example, and Ultron. I talked about this already. But the SP2 stun, you know, it's nice. It's really nice. When Nick already has access to amazing utility at like 15 intel or higher, while in the real Nick Fury phase, where he also has like crazy attack rating. Like, when he has all that utility, like, you don't have to bleed. But, I mean, when you can bleed, it's good. It's really, really good. Yeah, I have no regrets with this 565. Please let me know in the comments, because I'm very curious, if you had the choice of one champion that you would later on to take to 565. So, like, assume that you have all the materials, maybe, like, a gem or two to use, all the ISO, but only for one specific champion of your choice. Would you choose Nick Fury to 565 or Dr. Doom to 565? And let's assume that Nick Fury is awakened. I guess give Dr. Doom his awakened ability too. He doesn't need it. It feels like it only works at SIG 200, honestly. And you're gonna take him to SIG 200 because he's great. And he's like a prestige champ. And I mean, are you really going for prestige at... Yeah, well, what am I talking about? Yeah. SIG 200 or 565 Doom for prestige, if you're at that level, and that's what your alliance... That's the level of your alliance, you know what I mean? I'll go ahead and add in post that on Chiltoid, 565 Doom is my top prestige champion, even though I have a rank 3 Mole Man. So, there you go. Also, don't allow me to compel you to SIG 200 or Doom, do it if you want to. And with that, let's keep going. So yeah, 565 Fury to reach Grandmaster and fight Grandmaster, or 565 Doom? That's the question. And now we move on to the Hydra Adaptoid. So yeah, I'm just gonna get in this fight and do damage. These boss fights that can be a little tricky, a little bit intimidating. I just like throwing peeps at them and seeing what they can do. Now I took hits with Nick on purpose, because I'm like, I'd rather get to an SP1, fire it, and then immediately have 16 intel. He can't block this attack while he's unstoppable, so that works out for me. Now I try hitting him while unstoppable. That was I was just a little bit early. That was a bit of a mistake, but it wasn't so bad. So here I get very overwhelmed. I think I was looking at his Vigor timer, because he has the Vigor regen node going on. I was looking at that timer, and then I didn't notice that the timer for the power gain was about to go. And then, like, it ticked for a half second, gave him an SP1, he fired it immediately. I was like... I was, like, paralyzed with indecision and looking at other stuff when I should have been looking at the power gain buff, but I didn't know where it was, you know? So it happens. Yeah. There. I feel pretty good about this performance. Very nice.
He's like Red Skull's
So the fun thing about Hydra Adaptoid,
if you
they
watched,
never
like,
animated
Captain
a
America
special
well,
free for him.
even Captain America Winter Soldier, that one.
Which
too,
on the one
he
hand,
makes
I
an
think,
appearance in that.
but if you've watched those two movies,
Hydra Adaptoid with like the
Red
weird
Skull has a lieutenant
in-game
slash
war
like
he
a
has.
scientist.
He's supposed to be like that does like crazy experiments and like messes about with magic, which Red Skull was, you know, very much interested in. He was interested in like magic and Egyptology and blah blah blah. That's how he got the cube, so on and so forth. So the Hydra Adaptoid is supposed to be him. Like, he uploaded his consciousness to like some computer, and then I guess like the Black ISO Mafia, like the weird villains in this game, if you ever pay attention to the story, the Black ISO Mafia like take the files that compose his consciousness and just put them in a Hydra Adaptoid that just really slaps and has like power gain and power gain like unstoppable. Like lore wise is pretty cool because, like, you know, there's adaptoids all over this game. If you play the early game, even Alliance Quest, you fight adaptoids. So you know, like lore wise, like adaptoids are everywhere. Adaptoids are practically disposable, and then they find one, and then they like trick it out and give it new toys and stuff. But never a special 3. Adaptoids have never fired a special 3. So again, lore wise, it kind of makes sense. But like, it kind of would be cool to see like a special 3 animation, even though having no special 3 makes this fight easier. Sorry I'm like talking over the combat with like weird stuff that has nothing to do with what's happening on screen. Part of the issue is that Sorcerer Supreme isn't dishing out a lot of damage, and Hydra Adaptoid has had a chance to regen quite a bit before, you know, I was able to get into the rhythm and start like start nullifying. That's the word. So yeah, this bit is a little bit slow, I'll admit. After this, I only have She-Hulk left before I need to use a revive, if I do at all. Because as you may remember, the path went on without a hitch. Other than that, She-Hulk v Colossus fight, which I quite literally fell asleep for. That's why I skipped most of it in this edit, so... So yeah, rushing in like that was kind of dumb. I hardly have any regrets. So yeah, I'm not healing She-Hulk. I'm just going in 260 health points. Not even a level 1 potion. And we're going to see how she does. Okay, so I was managed to pull off 1 parry. I believe he has Limber. So I can't just spam parry. Not that I'm interested in doing that, because I can't afford the block damage. Okay, here we go. I'm going to place that Petrify. Very nice. Just throwing a heavy after he takes a few steps. Thankfully, he behaves, he turtles up. It's exactly what I want. Coming in for another special 2 Petrify. Let's go. So, he's a certain distance away, let him walk up, throw that heavy again. Same thing as before, spacing probably exactly the same. I'm not going to measure it. I'm just gonna claim and assume that I'm this
you know, really consistent MCOC God player, you know? Look at this, we're making tons of progress right now. Now, I hit him while he's unstoppable, but thankfully, you know, Heimdall means no consequences. Am I gonna finish this? Oh, no. No, no, no. I'm not finishing this quest with no revives, unfortunately. It would have been great if I fired that special 3. Adaptoid, Hydra Adaptoid, he has a large tag, so I would have got an extended stun. But it's fine. I just revived Nick Fury, and just like the last fight, he can reliably do 10% damage in no time. Just gotta do it before he starts regenning, and that's it. Hope you enjoyed this quest. This was quite a bit faster than my previous ones, and yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you have a great day. Goodbye.